Hello Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and welcome to December. The new moon will affect Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Risings most from 5 to 14 degrees and happens overlapping November 30th and the 1st of December. It happens at the 9th degree of Sagittarius, which is pretty significant since the 9th degree represents Sag and the 9th house and is happening in your 12th house of rest, seclusion, foreign lands, money, debts that we owe, past lives. Large ocean animals like whales are covered here. And I'm sorry, my dog decided to follow me to the room that I just moved into. He's clicking around in the background. Anyway, the 12th house covers charity, spirituality, artistic projects. Hang on one second. Okay, I may have to pause again. My dog is sitting right here staring at me. So we'll see. All right. Anyway, 12th house, it covers rest, seclusion, foreign lands, money, debts that we owe, past lives. I mentioned large ocean animals. Okay. Spirituality, artistic projects that we work on behind the scenes and that come to us like through dreams that we're divinely inspired by, prisons, hospitals, ashrams, pilgrimages, foreign money happens here like PayPal, Stripe, etc. are all covered by this house. Also fantasy, film, and our addictions. This is a time of preparing for the next new moon that will be happening in your first house by the end of the month. And that will be a more active time for you. Right now, you could be more in a state of rest, needing to rest, getting over a wellness issue. You could just be wanting to just be alone and enjoying that time alone. This new beginning, in spite of the holidays, this new beginning is receiving a square from your ruler Saturn, sitting over there in that third house. It could look like you want to go on an overseas travel, trip, cruise, but the block is, coming from obligations to do with your local community or your business, or something comes up with a family member like a sibling or cousin. You could also just be wanting to spend more time alone, and your day-to-day life is pulling you out of your rest and seclusion. You could be working on a creative project, podcast, book, or having depressing thoughts around day-to-day thinking or ideas and trying to have a light bulb moment while you're working hard on something behind the scenes. But Saturn sitting in the house of the mind could have you feeling energetically depleted around this moon and needing that rest more than the average person. This will change as the sun gets ready to move into your first house. Let's see. And I'm just checking the times. Okay. And maybe you'll start a holiday that involves less people and you'll be content with that, with all this 12th house activity. Or you and a loved one could be away and secluded for the holidays. And that's another way this can play out. You could be thinking about new ways to eliminate a bad habit or debts with the 12th house being highlighted now. But something comes up, like say a vehicle, vehicles fall in the third house and you have to splash out, which is curtailing the chance for you to curb your debt. Or you're trying to spend less money over the holidays, but you find yourself helping somebody close to you in need. Or spending more than you really wanted to on a special gift for somebody that you really care about. You could be focused on private matters and wanting new beginnings, about stopping undoing behaviors or patterns like watching, too much fantasy series, too much Netflix, smoking, too much tarot watching, or, Saturn's making it hard for you to break out of a rut. Or communication with a partner or someone close is more difficult, and you're having a hard time being understood if you're talking about hard things. Mercury is still retrograde and in a swirling mist house that confuses and dissolves the 12th house. So communication could be difficult, or what you're saying you feel is not being well understood by the other person. You could have some good, lucky, creative ideas that come from dreams or travel plans that you develop now and start taking action on when the planets start shifting into your first house. And that will happen within the next few weeks. Mars in Leo is trining over to the sun and moon at the same time, trying to lend support in 8th house matters like intimate healing and seclusion. Maybe you and a partner go away for much needed few days to dip out of the holiday craziness. And that would actually be a great way to use this energy. Even if it's just like a night away, you do a staycation at like a Airbnb tucked away somewhere. If you're not satisfied with something in your life, whether it's finances, intimate partnerships and shared resources, or debts, investments, etc., Mars in the 8th house, a house that it rules along with Pluto, is making you take action to start changing these things so you can feel more empowered, lighter, brighter. You could also be in trades, foreign investments, and this could be showing up in a positive way now. Even though he's turning retrograde on the 6th, Mars, I still see this as beneficial. It could be sowing the seeds of change now to get full results or more progress by the time that Mars is direct in April and by the Sagittarius full moon next June. On the 6th of December, Mars will officially start retrograding in Leo in that 8th house of sex, death, rebirth, taxes. It's where the shadows lie and where we hide our deepest pain. It's a magic house, occult and tarot house as well, but it's also a house of investments, big money we don't earn, like an inheritance, loans, returns, from our investments. It's where we marry or in a serious committed relationship, and it goes full on intimate here. Marriage is usually the 7th house and then it moves up to the 8th as it gets more intimate, where we merge our resources and everything else. Mars retrogrades at 6 degrees, affecting you most from 1 to 11 degrees, Cap, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And we have that Pluto Aquarius opposition in place that I talked about for November's forecast. That opposition will be on and off until April. You can go back and listen to the timestamp November astrology for the opposition. I'll link it in the description box down below. What I'd like for you is the Pluto-Venus conjunction, which is a whole new energy now that Pluto will be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. This conjunction actually last happened in 1778, which kind of shows you how significant this can be. Even if it doesn't show results right away as they unfold, you'll realize and look back to this date as the date, being the beginning. This starts to happen on the 7th and is felt through the 13th, and it's happening in your 2nd house of banking, family business, land investments, land, property, farmland, luxury goods, wine, food, your face, your mouth, diet, our self-worth, esteem, and what we value are all covered by the 2nd house, where this conjunction is happening. Plain and simple, this could be some massive money. Pluto rules multi-millions, and Venus is in her house. The 2nd house rules artwork, creativity, women, perfumes, beauty, and relationships as well. This is being further amplified by Uranus trining over from the 5th lucky house of love and romance, but also lotto and speculative wins. Did you find out you have a valuable painting or a valuable piece of property or land that can yield a big payout? Maybe this was even something that you didn't know about, something not hidden within the family, but it could have been unbeknownst to you. You could have a lotto win or one of those contests where you win a mansion and property too. There could be a sudden new love partner or rebirth of an established love. If you're a psychologist or have a business around psychology, you could be doing well in your practice, giving patients searing but healing insights now. Or some kind of therapist, if you would be the therapist, I think. Money opportunities can come in suddenly from previously hidden sources, like something that you work on in the 2nd house. Making luxury goods or some creative business gets noticed by a high-profile or wealthy, powerful person, and they reach out to you in a surprising way, like an email or via socials. Just watch out, obviously, for scam artists, too, especially around the holiday season. There could also be a sudden transition in a positive way with an older child, or for a child, if you have any. You can be a bit obsessive over a love partner at this time, or they with you, so be careful of that. If you're meeting someone new at this time, you are definitely going to be more magnetic and attractive. But always just take care when it comes to obsessive love. There's nothing healthy about that. But I do see Neptune coming into this aspect as well in a really positive way, casting some magical otherworldly element to this conjunction, and Uranus is making a nice flow to it as well from that 3rd house of communication. So again, this could be something that you gain tremendously from, and maybe you're starting it now, and then the next hit you'll be is the next time that Venus hits Aquarius, in the next year or so. But anyway, this can be something you can gain from around a creative work, book, film, fantasy, docuseries. Just for some example, some kind of communication project, something you're working on with siblings or family members in the community. I say that because the 3rd house is highlighted. This is felt most for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, 0 to 5 degrees, 0 to 6 degrees, but all will come, or if you have Aquarius placements, 0 to 6 degrees. All will come into contact with this conjunction over the years, as Pluto is here to transform the 2nd house of yours after having finished up his long stay in your 1st house. You're feeling that relief now that Pluto has shifted out, especially if you're a late degree in Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Pluto has left the building, and is moving into the second house, which can radically transform your finances over the next 20 years in a massive way. And all Capricorn Sun, Moon, or Rising will come into this contact with that conjunction over the years as Pluto progresses through the degrees of Aquarius, and Venus does too. On the 15th of December, the full moon in Gemini at 23 degrees affects you most from 18 to 28 degrees and is falling in your sixth house of health. The sixth house also covers your pets, day-to-day routines, people you hire who work for you, your competition, your health practitioners. Let's see, diet, did I mention that? Mercury also goes direct in Sagittarius in your 12th house on this day. This could be a work project coming to completion, a health issue that may have been hidden, being highlighted with the sun in the 12th house. The 12th house rules our hidden enemies, and the 6th house is open enemies. And our enemies sometimes aren't the people out there in the world. Sometimes they're enemies within our own bodies, or via our health habits, or bad health, or bad habits, which can lead to health problems. And there's the enemy there. And this could be in focus now with the sun beaming over to show what the problem might be on the 6th. What the problem might be in that 6th house. It could be a pet's health issue as well coming to light. If it's not health, a job can conclude, or a job well done can be highlighted as Jupiter is here with a loose conjunction to the moon. And Jupiter is being trined by Venus, which I love, from that second house of money. Yay. Maybe you're getting a nice payout and just in time for the holidays with Venus and Jupiter in a trine, or you're gaining recognition as well. Venus rules your 5th house and your 10th. So it could be something to do with a collaboration on a creative project with women, or feminine energy could be involved, or high-profile female is helping you out, noticing your work and talents, and maybe wants to collaborate or work with you or become your client. You could have been working on your exercise and diet, and it's showing up for you in a big way now. Maybe you had work done to your teeth. Capricorn rules bone structure. Could be, your teeth, your face, and this glow up has you getting better career prospects too, simply due to you feeling better about yourself. If a contract comes in, just try to wait until January 2nd for signing, because I see Neptune making a square, which can cause a bit of nebulousness or confusion about the fine print. So just wait for this to clear a little bit, bide some time. It's only about 2-3 weeks until January 2nd at this point in the month. On the 30th, the new moon in Capricorn happens in your 1st house at 9 degrees. And, I'm sorry. Let me pause this for 1 second. Yes, I was right. Sorry. The new moon in Capricorn happens in your 1st house, or with your sun. Sun would be your father figures, career, and vitality. Moon is mother, your emotions, your emotional world, your internal world. But when we project these things, we always talk about the 1st house as astrologers. So your 1st house is, new beginnings could be unfolding, 9 degrees Capricorn. You also have the sun in your 1st house. Unfolding now and over the next 6 months around your physical body, your image, the way you present out in the world, and is getting a sextile of support from Saturn, who is your ruler, and lending that strength and stability to this new beginning that's all about you, coming over from the 3rd house of communication. So Saturn sitting over there, sextiling your sun, moon, or ascendant. You could have a unique voice and a story to tell here, especially after having Pluto transiting your 1st house, your sun or your moon over the past so many years. You definitely may have a story to tell. You could become a storyteller, or one of those YouTube storytellers, or telling, storytelling online, communicating something online, writing an e-book. You could be starting a local business in your community, opening a coffee shop or a bookshop, something with a twist. Start teaching elementary or teaching online, or offering online coursework, becoming an app developer that revolves around support for a charitable organization. Maybe you're starting a charity. You're a cardinal sign. You're a leader. You would be the one taking charge here. You would be the one initiating. You could move, and you could also be an authority in something, especially after clearing out Pluto. You can move to a new neighborhood, and there's a solid supportive beginning here to really everything about you. Even a new relationship, if that's on the table, because the other end of this 1st house axis is the 7th house. It's a great way to end the year and begin a new one, and it's really, your time to shine, Capricorn. Especially, you need it. You deserve it. The sun has moved into your 1st house. Voila. You could just be looking fantastic right now, too. It's possible you can also become well known within your community or via social media for something that you're starting now. Take care, Cap, and we'll see you in January.